Even all, we've just come back from London Play Expo yesterday, and we felt a bit obliged to sort of do a video because we've been to about 3 or 4 of these now, sort of scattered throughout the UK, mainly up north, and we
It's
just
so far up north, isn't it?
really far up north, Doncaster, Leeds, places.
6-hour drive.
Places you really need to go. So yeah, literally a 6-hour drive as well. But this one felt quite different to the others because whenever we've gone to other expos and conventions, it's always been we've rocked up, gone there with a budget in our head of like, 200 quid, boom, we just want to buy games. And
Yeah, that's all we mainly go for, isn't it? Just where are the games, we're going to buy the games, and
yes,
obviously the other,
straight to the market.
Everything that comes to the expo you want to see anyway, like the cosplay, and you want to meet with fellow people and stuff. But I don't think in the past we've had a chance to do that, have we? Because we've either gone up and come back on the same day.
That's our thing, is that we go there for games. That's the main focus.
But then if you're going to Leeds, you go up there for 6 hours and come back. Another 6-hour drive back.
Yeah.
It's a long time. You spend a few hours there and then literally come there and back.
12 hours
which is worth
on
it.
a bus just to pick up Ghouls and Ghosts on the NES. Ghosts and Goblins. But it was different this time because when we've gone in the past, like you say, it's always been we've gone in there straight to the market stalls, picked up some games, and then had a few beers and come back. But this time there was sort of a different reason to it. We had we were lucky enough to sort of go up there with games you loved and a few other people, and it was a much more a sort of social event, which we've never done before, and it was really cool, really different as well, because we've been to one in Manchester, one in Doncaster.
Yeah, and that's where we met Chris, actually, wasn't it, from Games You Loved in Manchester?
Yeah, that's where we first met him in Manchester. And that's where was it not V-Rally? What was the game? Ridge Racer.
Oh,
you could not stop playing Ridge Racer, which is absolutely fine.
And that was in the little Games You Love section, wasn't it? They had the little console setup and Ridge Racer. I love that game, and I was really good at it, just saying.
Hashtag just saying. It was the PS2, and also that was where psychotic games. There was like a homebrew guy who was doing Mega Drive games, and he had a game called Invasion.
Yeah.
And he was selling like 100 copies. And there was a high score table there, and if you beat the high score, you get a free copy of the game. Oh my god, it was.
We tried
tense.
so hard.
I was sweating.
I
went back there, and there was like a scoreboard up all day.
Yeah, I remember you being really close though, really, really close.
Yeah, to the screen.
Like close.
It was there was a scoreboard on the first day. I was close, and then it was like say 100,000 points, and I had like 88,000. But then the next day we went back, and it was like 400,000. And it gets to the point when it's like Space Invaders, but it's got a co-op mode, which is really cool. And it just gets faster and faster.
It's got a plastic version and an old school version, isn't it? Like a retro.
Yeah, all the backgrounds change and stuff.
Yeah.
It is a cool game on the Mega Drive. Invasion on the Mega Drive, if you do see it, it's really cool. But that's what's happened with us in the past. We go there, we play some games, we buy some games, and that's kind of it. That's it.
Which is what happens in an expo anyway. I mean, that's where you go to do, isn't it? And
but this time it was.
But like it wasn't like the last couple of times, because we're kind of new at this, and although we've collected for almost like 10 years now, and true.
At least a tenner.
But we've only been like on social media, I suppose, the last 3 years, haven't we? Yeah. Like on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and things, and in a way of like this community of gaming and things, and now we're kind of part of that. It's just so nice to meet up with.
And it's weird to sort of all the people you do meet up with. Because you only see them in sort of a digital community, it's really strange when you meet up in person because you don't know if there's going to be any awkwardness. But everyone we met was just really cool.
Yeah, and not only that, I suppose you recognise people from their like Twitter handles, and you don't
literally don't know their names.
Because sometimes you don't perhaps see certain people, like their faces or whatever, because it's all about the games, isn't it? And you don't. Good. Or they've got like a little sprite in their thumbnail, but. Yeah,
trying to match people up with like a pixelated sprite. Yeah, that's John. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many people there as well. Yeah,
including Paul Weller, who apparently was playing. Retro Hunter told us he saw Paul Weller playing pinball. I can only assume he was playing Goldwing, which looked a lot like Top Gun Faye. I'm not going to lie to you. Did you see that? It was Top Gun.
We'll have to post a little picture because...
That was astonishing.
I mean, wow.
Yeah. I didn't realise they were like, not knockoff. I mean, maybe there's like a licensing issue, but perfect.
Well, there must have been because I was so Top Gun.
It was perfect. So yeah, it was just, that's why we wanted to do this video, just to sort of show that, well, from our perspective, it was just really different. Like, we spent so much time just in the sort of food and beer area.
Outside in the beer garden.
That's absolutely fine. We're Welsh, it happens a lot. Just talking to everyone. Like, I mean, I'd probably spend more time outside than inside.
I mean, I think it was like some people we didn't like get a chance to talk to, or like they,
Yeah, like we did see some people that we've loved for a long time, like Kim Justice. We saw wandering around taking pictures and stuff, and we missed the YouTubers.
panel.
That's the word. I was looking
And we missed that. I remember there was Retro Gamer magazine as well, wasn't it? But it was so busy when we went over there. We didn't get a chance to speak with them as well, and people from like Retro Collect and things, which I think in the past we've spoken to.
With the Retro Gamer panel, I just thought I walked up and there were just loads of sort of banners up saying subscribe Retro Gamer, and I thought, well, I'm a subscriber, so.
But it was already busy, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
So we couldn't.
I didn't know what was going on, but I thought, well, I subscribed, so what would I say?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been the second time we've been to like an expo like this, and when we went to the Manchester Play Expo, I felt like it was on a different level again because it seemed almost bigger, and the sound was bigger, and as soon as you went in, you heard all this music. Whereas this one seemed a lot quieter. It was over like a larger space, larger area, wasn't it? Like it was over a big warehouse, I suppose. In cordoned off sections almost. It wasn't like one big.
It was quite industrial. I quite liked it because.
It was really cool, and especially for the arcade, the pinball machine, with all the pinball machines and arcade machines and things. Obviously, that's what an arcade is. But it gave that kind of what's it called?
Mood lighting.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying, it was a good point when we went to the Manchester Expo. It was really starkly lit, and it felt quite, not clinical, that's the wrong word, but it was just kind of boom, you know, you can see everything. But this one was like more moody, and there was a point when we were upstairs and there was the cosplay. Cosplay isn't really my thing, it's cool, but.
I love cosplay.
I'm not really into
but
it.
it's just the fact they make all the costumes from scratch and they're wearing them, and I think it's brilliant.
It's
But it wasn't a lot of it, it didn't seem, in this one. In comparison to the Manchester Play Expo, there was a lot of cosplay, but then London one, it just seemed to be like a few. I didn't notice many cosplayers walking around at all, apart from the ones that were on stage at the time doing their thing with the background, with the music and stuff. But also in the morning we went for breakfast, obviously in Spoons, which actually was quite nice. Spoons is awesome, you know, it's fine, isn't it? And
we'll take sponsorship.
But it was so close to the event as well. And the fact that when we got talking to the guy, he noticed like we were wearing gaming t-shirts and things, and he said, "Do you know anything about this gaming expo that's nearby? There's a lady who just came in and she was
changing the toilets,
dolling herself up into like almost like a character." He said he had to ask her because it was really weird. Like she was almost like just dressing up, and he was like wondering what was going on.
Yeah, you know, it was some little petite like 5-foot girl like tottering into the toilets, and then she came out looking exactly like Zangief from Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, so he probably thought what, and fair play, he kept saying, didn't he, like how awesome she looked as well. Like it was fantastic. So he's pretty jealous.
But in that going back to that sort of cosplay area, what really struck me was, like I said, cosplay isn't really my thing. So it was all cool, it was all going on, but the setup of it in the print works in London, it looked like the ending sequence from Terminator 2, just huge printing presses just up on the side, and it was just quite massive and just
the fact it's no massive warehouse as well.
Good, yeah.
No missing like a community hall, or it's like in a.
That's what it was. That's what it was. It's just dawned on me now. In Manchester, it was an event hall, wasn't it? It's somewhere you hire out for events, and it was just all starkly lit and like a big single floor thing. But this kind of felt there were little like labyrinthine. There was lots of cool things going on.
Yeah, like you could probably get lost as well. And when you looked up in the in that little stage area in the cosplay, and you saw like all the stands and stuff from like. Was it like different sections of like probably would have been the print? I don't know. Like is that
I'm trying to think. Went upstairs. I had a few drinks. By the time we got upstairs, and
looking through beer goggles. I mean.
Yeah, looking through my vodka visor. But no, it was just really cool, and it was just a nice experience too. I mean, we still bought a lot of games, which we'll go through in a bit. But
we did buy a few games.
We went, and I also before we went in, it was really funny because we, like Faye mentioned, we've only been on YouTube and Twitter for a few years.
Well, YouTube like past year, I'd say, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally, yeah, because Twitter was the first thing, and when we started collecting about 9 or 10 years ago, but when we sort of went public, went on social media like 3 or 4 years ago, and we were outside, and I bet you a drink, which you still owe me, #just saying, that if anyone recognises you specifically from Kingdom of Cards, you have to buy me a drink. And we walked in, obviously, straight to the game stall to buy some games, and I picked up Second Samurai and the Mega Drive, and Retro Hunter came around and said, "Are you Kingdom of Cards? So if you want to go and pour me a drink, that'd be great."
I've poured you many drinks in your time.
It's true, I've had at least 6. But no, it was really cool, and the well, we should actually mention what we picked up, because when we picked up a lot of our stuff.
Okay,
from the
because
Retro
we're
Hunter.
at Retro Hunter and we saw him and he recognised us. And we did actually pick some awesome Mega Drive games up from him, because obviously we're constantly expanding on our Mega Drive collection.
Yeah, hopefully you can see.
And we don't have these particular ones, and especially one of them, well, actually both of them you never see anyway, do you?
No.
So, and and for a really good price as well. Like, he's obviously really good with his pricing, isn't he? And
yeah, it's just nice. I like it when people
Lovely-
haggle.
lovely
You can
man.
barter a little bit. It just gives you that, you know,
yeah.
you're buying a few things. It's
But
a
we
lot
didn't
of money.
even do that. Like, it was just.
It just good. Yeah, it was just a good time, good prices. But the fact that you can, I just like it with those stores. You can say, look, if I buy a few things, you knock a few quid off, and
Yeah.
it does work. I love that.
So one of them was Vector Man.
Yeah, which is good. We've got this, the cart only, but we started. I didn't think we'd ever do it, but about 2 years ago we did say, oh, it's time to just. The thing is, when you have all the Mega Drive games, as you all know, the spines is such colourful sort of spines, and they look so good on the shelves.
Yeah.
That when you just have like a cartridge, and it's just in a drawer somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah. So if anyone needs any cards to match up with the boxes, we may.
Yeah, we have got doublers that we're willing
because
to
we've
sort
got
of
quite a few
trade away.
double. Like we must have 100 cards that we need.
We just don't. Yeah, we don't need any more. But
But
yeah,
they're not all FIFA either.
and I don't know if this is the ellipsoid graphics. I'm not sure. Can't remember what the graphic style is in this, but I remember a lot of people when they saw us with this said that they weren't keen on the graphics. But I remember really liking this game because it was really fluid.
Yeah. I think I've only played it once, and that's only like in recent years because I suppose as a kid I never even come across that probably.
Yeah, I don't remember it when I was a kid. But no, Vector Man, really good shooter if you fancy them. Really cool. Play that later.
And I think weirdly back then we bought that literally I think 2 years ago from Manchester Play Expo, just the cart only, wasn't it? And it was I think it was the same price if not more. Now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. It hasn't gone up too much then in the years.
But that was just a cart. And the other one we picked up, which is probably one that's close to your heart.
What a game. Owen. I played this on the Amiga originally, but Second Samurai. But when I played it on the Amiga, I had no friends. No, I used to play it myself.
No?
Yeah, that's why I bought it again. But I remember thinking it was 2-player and how awesome it would be because I know you get games like I don't know, I'm still holding it, Second Samurai. You had a lot of games like Streets of Rage 2 and Final Fight that were sort of 2.5D side-scrolling brawlers. But I love the fact that, and it's only really this and Blades of Vengeance that come to mind, the proper just 2D side-scrolling platformer. I thought that was really cool, like sort of made it feel like more of an adventure, but I never had a second person. We haven't even tried it yet.
You're just going to work now.
It's fine, yeah, you sorted it out now. But yeah,
look at the back cover as well, I mean.
I've wanted that for a long time. I'm going to play that with my eyes.
I remember you talking quite a lot about it to me, and I remember thinking like that's absolutely awesome, and I kind of it's one of those ones I forgot about, and then
you don't see it much.
Also, you've never come in contact with this. When we saw it at Play Expo, and then you mentioned it, I was like, oh,
that's happening.
That's for a decent price as well. And
Halvesies, boom, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good game. So yeah, they were the two we got from the Retro Hunter, and I was really happy with those.
Yeah, thank you. That's awesome.
Good work. In fact, the only time I've ever seen Second Samurai are at these expos. You never see it otherwise, apart from on eBay.
But I've never seen it on that. And like the last one I bought from like a kind of well, it wasn't. It was a video game market. Was
I'm drinking your drink, mother.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can see it like quickly.
What is it?
Sequest.
Oh, Sequest DSV.
It's another one you never really see, and I saw it, and it was kind of pricey. It was like 30 quid or something, wasn't it? But again, I think we've been quite lucky with the majority of our Mega Drive collection, and we in the way that we've picked up from charity shops or flea markets or
we never
people
pay over
giving
the
it to
odds.
us, as in like friends or family, whoever they bought for like as a present.
I just think that just paying like the maximum amount for something just to have it takes the fun out of it a bit.
Yeah, same as like Pro Protector on the Mega Drive, or like the Death and Return of Superman. I mean, over 100 quid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay that.
You don't want to do it because it's just.
I would. Don't get me wrong. There'd be a point where we're probably like, do you know what? We want to complete our PAL collection there.
A quick aside to Sequest DSV, because we stayed a couple of months ago in Taunton. We were down there for some reason that escapes me now, but we were down in Taunton, and our plan was to go out, have a few drinks, go around the shops, pick up some games, and then come back at 9 o'clock with a couple of bottles of wine.
Yeah.
And play the Switch in the room. She's listening. She's looking for it.
I'm looking for the game. It really annoys me when I can't find the game when we're talking about it.
We don't watch TV. We watch like Netflix and films and stuff.
Don't we?
We watch our backs. But when we got back to the room, I said it's the horror channel, and I said what we'll do is we'll have a few glasses of wine, pop on the horror channel at 10 o'clock, and just see what happens. We'll just watch it like an old school horror film. And we were all prepared. We had food, and we were like ready to rock. Boof. Horror channel goes on. Sequest DSV starring Michael Ironside, and I thought I didn't realise. Apparently it's sci-fi and horror now. I thought it was just a horror channel, but it was disappointing, is what it was.
Yeah. I'm still looking for him. Sorry. Maybe
We'll
we'll
find it in
show
time.
you another time.
So yeah, just trying to think. Another big a cool moment for me, especially at the expo on Saturday. It's Monday now. Was seeing the Oliver twins. That was really cool because we were outside having a chat with everyone and completely, totally, utterly lost track of time, and
I think it was about 4:00 we met. I think it was about 4:10 we met everyone quite late, didn't we?
yeah.
Outside in the beer area. And food tents and things. I looked at the time at one point. It was like it was 5:00, wasn't it? 5:10, and we were like, oh, I'm sorry, I think we missed the Oliver twins. Obviously a bit gutted, but again, awesome. To be honest, we saw other fellow Twitters and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitterers.
Twitterers.
So this is what's distracting me. I'm in my line of sight. Whenever you talk and I look past you, I can just see this. just a load of blood. That's fine.
Well, use fresh blood.
Actually, we'll drink that later on when the vodka runs out.
What was there for? I mean, if anyone wants to ask us any questions about the blood, why
it's a
is
mixer.
there?
But when we went to see the Oliver twins, you pointed out, you said that they've just finished in the panel, and they were talking to about 6 or 7 guys, and I went down, and we ended up, because it was quite quiet, it was really nice actually, because we got a game that we'd picked up. I'm a massive Dizzy fan, so we picked this up from Console Passion and got it signed, which is absolutely fine. But we ended up having a really nice sort of 15-20 minute conversation with them.
Reminiscing about the 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were two really nice guys, weren't they?
Really nice, really lovely guys. And I recommend their book as we actually got the book. We picked up their book because they all the proceeds from this book go to charity, and they usually I feel like
we paid full price for this book, just let you know.
Yeah, we didn't.
It wasn't like a.
But all the proceeds from the book usually go to Special Effect, which is a charity that we raise money for back in February.
Yeah.
So Special Effect is such a good charity if you have a quick goosey. But the fact that you're paying 20 quid, all the money goes to charity. And when we were talking to the Oliver twins, they said that all this sort of hobbyist stuff, when they go to these expos and do talks, everything they get just goes to charity, which is just awesome. And they were up for signing everything and giving anecdotes about the 80s and 90s, which is cool. And it's just nice to see they're doing well. They're nice. They turn out really well. They're really cool guys. Still in the industry.
They were wearing those Dizzy badges I really wanted.
Oh God, yeah. I've never wanted to touch a man's chest so much. And he was wearing it. He was talking, and my eyes kept drifting down to that Dizzy badge.
Just wanted that badge.
Oh, that badge.
Never did get that badge, but
No.
hey.
I'll weave you one on my loom. Don't worry about it.
We got to meet them, which is cool.
Island. Sorry. Yes. No,
and
that
we
was
even
really
had a cheeky photograph, didn't we, with them, which was.
Yeah, that was
really
really cool. I was weirdly
I was
emotional.
quite surprised,
It was a good picture. So yeah, going back around the game store, we headed back there after that, and because it was quietening down a little bit, we sort of potted around and picked up some stuff. Do you want to do the honours? Because I've.
Oh yeah, so we went to another store, wasn't it? What was it called? I'm not sure. Bet the lovely gentleman who introduced himself. They made arcade marquees, and he made some really. I really wanted that Ghouls and Goblins one, and he had quite a few different ones. Maybe it's a Asteroids, but there was a couple, didn't.
Yeah.
Well, we weren't sure if they fitted our machine.
We've got a sort of bar top size machine, but we don't know the marquee size, and I didn't want to just buy like a Ghosts and Goblins one and then just have to cut it down.
Just purely because we haven't got any room. Like I would have bought them anyway, but like we're just a bit limited with space, aren't we? So after last time the expo when I bought those PS2.
Yeah, like an acrylic PS2 thing that fits the Billy bookcases perfectly.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to using those at one point.
At some point.
He was selling half price Atari games and things, so we managed to buy Keystone Capers on the Atari 2600, fly around. And it's got the original sticker on in 1999. I'm guessing that's probably not the original, but.
Unless that was when they were going through the crash and everything.
Conceived and designed by Gary Kitchen for one crime buster at a time.
Is it Gary Kitchen or Gary Kitchener?
Kitchen.
Battle Tank on the Mega Drive. I will look that up.
Sure.
That's not familiar anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, in a box as well, and I'm sure we only paid $5 for that, and that's good. I mean, Atari in a box as well.
That's absolutely fine. Is there a book in there as well?
And I've read a couple of since posting this online. Like I've not personally played this.
No.
But a lot of people have said on Twitter that, or commented on the post saying that how good the game was and things. So
it does look quite, from the screenshot in the back, it does look quite full on compared to the usual sort of Atari stuff of the time. Your single screen. I've got no problem with this. We'll have to play this very quickly.
Yeah, and the other one we had was a sealed one on the Atari 2600, which I'm guessing we're going to have to open at one point because we don't believe in sealed games. and anything else we've sealed, we've bought like on the GameCube, and like we bought the what was that Universal Studios.
Oh God, Universal Studios Adventure or something on the GameCube.
Yeah, and various other ones like the R-Zone we've opened up, and
we've got 3 R-Zones.
We really want to play them. I mean, like all LCD ones have been opened, apart from a couple of the watches which you got duplicates of, and like maybe there's 1 or 2 we haven't opened that we need to open. But finding the right time. There's never been a right time, which
it's the very few things we keep on a shelf that just seal.
Yeah, we've played them all, don't we?
Yeah.
Not at once, obviously, and it probably takes years to play them all. But
Busy.
So we bought Dark Chambers for the Atari 2600 sealed,
That's really cool.
and again that was £7, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
I've never heard about that game. It's a bit before my time, the 2600. So
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, 83,
that's when I was born.
and that's when I wasn't born.
Yeah.
I wasn't alive then. But this old man was.
Oh man.
So in fact, you're a few years older than me.
I'm 1,000 years older than you. But yeah, what I do love about this is that sort of typical 80s fantasy artwork on the cover. Really cool. Oh, it's 1 or 2 players as well. But I dare say we'll open this. Well, will we open it?
Maybe, but some of these Atari ones are not worth opening.
I know you'll play
I mean,
it
like
for a few
E.T.
seconds and then...
If we had the sealed copy of that, looking back, I wouldn't have opened it. But we already had it. We haven't. It wasn't like in the cellophane or anything.
I thought barcodes were a 90s thing. I didn't realise they were in the 80s.
Really?
We'll have to scan this bad boy in the barcode battler.
Yeah, well, we've got the Barbie one, or we've got the
Barbie barcode battler.
or we've
all
got
the things in
barcode
the
battler,
wall.
which I did see earlier, like out and about for no reason at all.
I definitely wasn't playing it by myself with a tin of
I think
beans.
it's down the sofa, which is where we keep all the games because we don't have room. So what else do we have that we picked? I don't think there's anything else we picked. Oh, we picked up this, which is awesome on the NES. Disney Adventures in the Magic Kingdom by Capcom. Yeah, so from 1985.
I'm assuming that's going to be like the GameCube thing, but just an
Well,
early
they've
version.
recently brought a new one out on the Xbox One, haven't they? And
Oh, the same thing.
yeah, something similar. But I can't remember what it's called. Keys to the Magic Kingdom or something. And
Well, Keys to the Kingdom is obviously a board game, Faye.
Maybe it wasn't called that then, but
Yeah.
something similar in title anyway. But it's on about like the Disney adventure. It's to do with Disney
The
theme
Disney
park
experience,
anyway.
yeah.
But to me, that's magical, and I've always wanted this game.
And the Disney games have a pretty good hit rate
Yeah.
of just being good.
And yeah, like anything on the Mega Drive, like Mickey Mania or World Illusion
World
stuff,
Illusion, Castle Illusion.
Quackshot, even like the art and stuff.
Quackshot is one of the best games in the Mega Drive. The music in that game melts my heart.
But it'll never age. Well, do you know what I mean? Like, it will age, but it's always going to be.
I just love how slow
playable
and methodical it is. Each jump, because he
And the
jumps
music
higher.
is.
Yeah, that's vinyl. That's what Data Disc needs to be doing. That and Lance Stoker and Toe Jam and Earl, and then just shut
And then
down the
you'd be
company.
happy.
You've done it. Yeah, I'd be happy. My
Got all
trousers
the
would
other
be
ones.
flying away in a whirlwind. But no, the Disney games, and they're good to collect because they're never too expensive. Capcom as well.
Well, Mickey's Magic Mirror, which I saw on the GameCube somewhere, was £150. I wanted that because I've just recently picked up a
Okay,
GameCube
don't check
game,
out.
which was called.
Are you
It's
leaning?
not there. Thing is, this is the annoying thing. We've got so many games. I know where to put them, and they could be anyway.
Yeah.
So it's but that frustrates me because then I feel like I have to look for I'm still looking for Sequest.
The amount of time about 6 months ago that I spent looking for my N64 power cable was I think in an alternate reality I'm still looking for it. It burns me when you want to play a certain console and you can't find a cable. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah, it would be nice to live in just a room that's about 60 feet long with just everything set up at the flick of a switch.
Yeah.
That's my
One
fantasy.
day. Oh, we've got 2 more cassettes.
Oh yeah. I play golf and I am on a mission to collect every golf game ever made and one day I'll do a huge review of them. I don't know if I've already got this, but this is hole in one golf. Someone on the front who looks a lot like Arnold Palmer.
I think this is
not
broken.
from
We've
up
got to
north.
take it back. It's not brand new.
Yeah. Oh, that was what was good about that. I remember having that again. This wicked Mastertronic British artwork on the cover. Excalibur with an A, love it. I've got another one called like the Holy Quest, and it's clearly just Monty Python's Holy Grail. I think that's Mastertronic as well. But I just love the cartoon artwork.
I think that's with a lot of games, isn't it? The artwork, kind of. that's why you buy a game. Whenever I have bought a game when I was in my younger days or whatever, you look at the cover and you look at the artwork and you think, well, I'm buying that because it looks awesome from the back cover. And you play it.
It's really weird actually, because
or board game especially as well.
When you look at
nothing like it.
If you look at the artwork on like all these games, it's true because you in those days you were just completely, because you didn't have the internet, you were completely driven on the artwork. So you're driven on this, like, oh my god, I want to play that. I want to play Dark Chambers. I want to play Keystone Capers. How awesome is this? And you get it, and it's so misleading. Whereas now it's like not as misleading, but now we don't really care about the artwork. I mean, whenever I pick up a Commodore game or like a Mega Drive game, and you see that kind of hand-drawn artwork, it's much more aesthetic than like when I don't really look at PS3 or PS4 artwork because it's just not representative of anything.
Yeah, you just
even though
buy it based on the game, didn't you really? But the older
you just look
stuff,
at a trailer on YouTube.
It was always kind of like the big thing was like, especially with Mega Drive, like as you can see, like all the spines and stuff, like tell a story, or the like just looking at the artwork on the spine is enough. You haven't even looked at the front cover yet, and you know you want to play certain games just by that. But whereas you got the PlayStation 2...
Yeah, we've got the PlayStation 2 games behind that, and it's just black and white.
But the American ones have like something on the spine, I think.
They're much better than ours, yeah. Ours is kind of uniform.
Which is cool, but it just looks a bit kind of...
bland.
When you're choosing a game in a store, even now, like when I've gone to CAX or something, or CEX, or... Yeah.
Yeah. You just think, I don't... Yeah.
Yeah.
And even when you go to these expos, and you're looking at, the Mega Drive games, or even... N64 or Super Nintendo, everything's so colourful and you kind of recognise fonts and pictures on the sort of spines and sides. And then you go to the PS2 section and it's just white and black and it's kind of daunting. It's like when you go to a car boot sale and you're looking to buy some records and you just see and you think, oh, this is just too daunting, I can't be bothered.
Yeah, it's too much, there's too many of them as well, and although we have collected kind of a lot of PS2 lately as well.
Yeah, accidentally as well because
it's
so
think,
cheap, sorry to hop in.
Overall, in the event, it was awesome. I had a nice time. It was a really
good event.
I think compared to other ones, well, I say other ones, we can't really compare because we've only ever been to like video game markets, but we've only been to one expo on the same level, Manchester.
Yeah, the same size.
And I felt like that was a bit better because it was like a bigger, it almost seemed a bit more big. It seemed big, if you know what I mean. It seemed more...
To me, it seemed like a social event.
This was more like... Okay, you had like the panels and things, and I think the keeper was the arcade, wasn't it? I mean, wow.
Yeah, the arcade and the pinball machines are amazing.
But apart from that, there was no...
It was very retro focused.
Which is awesome because I'm one for it. I love retro, and that's what I live for, kind of thing. So it's fine.
As she sits there in a Sonic shirt.
Still retro.
No, it is. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like an Uncharted T-shirt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we just wanted to mention a few people... Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. I had a weird cold all day. A few people that we met. King Monkey, 25, on Twitter.
Yeah, we had an awesome conversation with him, didn't we, out in the beer area.
I spoke to that man about everything from CRT TVs that are 14 inches to CRT TVs that are 32 inches. Everything in between.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. You should follow him. So, was it at King Monkey 25? Been wanting to meet him for a while actually because it's funny, isn't it? Because you meet people on Twitter, people add you and you follow them quite a lot, and then maybe they follow you as well, but you never ever meet. So it's quite nice to meet people.
Sort of, yeah, and then put the face to the names.
Another was Guy Fawkes Retro.
He was really cool. He was keen. Well. Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
You talked to him for a lot longer than I did actually. Because I was completely caught up in conversation with King Monkey, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah. And obviously, of course, the games you love because good old Chris. I love Chris. He's
Chris
brilliant.
In my heart forever. Yeah, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, really cool talking, and he seemed really busy to me. And he had so much going on that day as well. It was cool to kind of meet up with him in the beer area. Thanks for the beer, by the way.
That's absolutely fine. That Asahi has never tasted so good.
And what else? Initially when we first went in, we
really nice.
Obviously met Retro Hunter, which is brilliant. I think he's got like an actual store as well, in real life.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like an actual shop?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool to visit that actually.
Hunter.
That'd be really nice.
Yeah. So visit him, and then I think at the same time we met
Serious Games Collection. Yeah, that was really cool. They were the first person we saw. I'm looking at really this cool. Because I did forget that I met My Gamer XP, who was lovely. And who's the guy who was really cool and we had a really nice conversation about the Nintendo McDonald's game.
I think Starlack UK was...
Starlack UK, yeah.
Was his
it was just really nice because we rocked straight in. Went to the back, instantly bumped into the Sarah's game collection, and just ended up having like a really nice
Yeah,
conversation
she's really
about games.
cool.
Good. She showed me where the toilet was, which I really appreciated because I needed a pee.
But yeah, it was really nice seeing them lot as well. But I think we didn't bump into them again, which is a shame. Would have been cool, but
I suppose
it's such a big place there, you know.
And we did turn up a bit late coming from Cardiff.
1
We
o'clock,
got there by like we had a pre-arrival pint. We were kind of pottering around and stuff, and then by the time
we were
turned
on the
up,
way
it
to the
was-
venue, weren't we? And
Yeah.
I mean, 4 hours on the bus.
A bus with no working toilet, as the Persians say. That was interesting.
Yeah, but yeah. So I think we met quite a lot of
Cool people. It was just nice. It was just a really sociable event.
a lot of people we didn't meet. But then again, was with anything, isn't it? You can't see everyone or speak to everyone. So
And I think that's what made us want to do a little video about this, because before we've gone to these expos or the conventions, picked up a load of games, come back, and then just played them and like had a wicked time. But this time we were talking about the people we'd met, and then going on Twitter, then met up for a few drinks, and the next day catching up on Twitter again, and everyone's still going back there, and it just felt much more a social event. And it made me wanna go back. Like I was coming home, and we were on the bus on the way back, and you said we have to go to the next one now because now you've just got this really cool group of people that it's just nice to meet up with, and hopefully every time we go back it'll just grow and grow, and then
yeah. I suppose everyone's doing a bit to preserve video games, aren't they?
yes,
Which is nice. So
very important. Should we it just because we woke up this morning and then and on Twitter it said there was an article about someone who was talking about how important it is to preserve video games.
yes, I saw that.
And I just wanted to say that when we first met all those years ago,
Probably 10 years ago, actually.
1,000 years ago, and we were saying how I'm a big Amiga fan, and the disc failure rate on the Amiga is so bad, and we've got like, I would say 60 to 70% of the games I've got just don't work anymore, just have become demagnetized.
Yes.
And I just wanted to say that for me, this whole conversation about see so many people who are all about the original hardware and buying all these specific cables. Just play them any way you can. If you can do that, wicked. But just play games any way you can. And emulation is so important to just keep them going.
Yeah, and keep collecting as well. And what I did love was that recently was, although I'm, I think it's more me than you, but big LCD games collector, like Tiger Handheld.
That's definitely more you than me, yes.
I'm speaking different language now. Tiger Handhelds. There was a recent thing online, wasn't there, where you can there's a database where you can actually play these handhelds, some of them. I can't remember what it's called though. And
That's niche.
I've kind of saved the page and stuff, but I can't remember like the top of my head. But do you remember seeing it though? You can play like through these handhelds, and it's really cool to have the opportunity to do that as well.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'll still keep collecting them.
Yeah.
Again, preserving them, and one day, I mean, some of them I feel like I've picked up that I'm surprised people haven't just put in the bin.
Oh, right.
Well, no, it's like the Rambo one. Which is like basically got a sticker slapped on it.
It's so cheap.
And it's so cheaply done. And I was quite shocked at isn't by Acclaim, Rambo. Namco, I was gonna say Rambo. But do you know what I mean? I get it because I can see right there, and it's gonna irritate me. But maybe they can't.
It's a good cupboard, that is, by the way.
So
Look how cheap that is. It's just a sticker on a generic console. No
hasn't
back.
got a back.
No
sadly,
back.
But it would have had a back, obviously. But the fact it just looks cheap, and it's even got like a crinkle where they've put a sticker on not properly. Like,
I can't believe you paid 900 quid for it, to be honest. Unbelievable.
I think it was more like a £5.
Ah, right.
Which is where we strike, where I strike. But again, it was really cool. I think sadly when the buttons don't work on it, so when you're trying to shoot like missiles and stuff or something, wasn't it you shooting from your gun? I think.
If you
That
can
you
shoot, you
can't-
can't move left or something.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, even with one button not working, it's nowhere near as baffling as the He-Man one you've got, the Masters of the Universe,
Yeah.
where it's like a really weird maze game with just grid references.
It's quite cool though. I like that.
It's very different. That's the thing with especially with the Konami ones. They're at least different games. They're not just kind of like licensed, copy pastes.
Yeah.
So we should probably wrap this up. We could be talking about this forever.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, just
We're
realised we
chatterboxes,
chatting
aren't
away,
we? But yeah. So basically, awesome time,
yeah.
awesome people, and awesome day.
Everyone go to the Play Expos. They're really good fun. Bye bye.